Good evening. It is great to have you with us here on this Wednesday night, and we begin tonight with the harrowing images revealed late today in the second impeachment trial of former President Trump. House managers essentially working as prosecutors, making the case on this second day of the trial that the former president's own words, not just on the day of the deadly riots, but in the weeks and in the months ahead of that day, all led up to that siege at the Capitol. They pointed to the president's own words over and over again, and then what he said that day and how supporters in the crowd were reacting in real time to what he was saying and what they did next. A short time later at the Capitol, they were there, and then House managers late today with a warning about the graphic images they were about to show this country, much of it seen for the first time. Rioters approaching the Capitol, smashing in windows, then breaking right through them, and then crawling right into the Capitol building. And today, for the first time, the view from inside from security cameras. A lone officer overwhelmed, armed only with pepper spray, the rioters then pouring in through the windows, breaching the Capitol. We have reported here on the heroic officer Eugene Goodman, and look at this view tonight. He's guiding the rioters right past the door, leading them away from the Senate chamber. And tonight, harrowing video of Vice President Mike Pence for the first time taken down the stairs to a safe shelter with members of his family. House managers saying some of the rioters were talking about assassinating the vice president. Then the mob seen searching for House Speaker Nancy Pelosi, at times using the president's nickname for her, and the audio from the hallways tonight. That was the audio in their search for the House Speaker, and this view tonight from an officer's body camera, the assault. We have reported on so many officers who came under attack that day. We will carefully guide you through it all here tonight, and the reaction coming in right now from senators who were inside that chamber today as the evidence was presented. ABC's Rachel Scott leading us off from the Hill again tonight.
On day two of the trial, House managers acting as prosecutors made the case that former President Donald Trump's own words, not just on the day of the riots, but that his words in the weeks and months before the riots, all led to the horror that played out on January 6th, repeatedly telling supporters for months the only way Trump loses is if it is rigged.
His false claims about election fraud, that was the drumbeat being used to inspire, instigate, and ignite them, to anger them.
They say he became the insider-in-chief, tweeting, "Be there, we'll be wild." Then on that day, the former president said this:
"We fight like hell, and if you don't fight like hell, you're not going to have a country anymore."
House managers methodically showed how the supporters in the crowd that day received those words from the president. And late today, House managers issued a warning before showing these images. What happened shortly after the president's words? Never before seen security footage from inside the Capitol on January 6th. The vice president whisked from the Senate chamber down a staircase to safety.
While the Vice President Pence was being evacuated from the Senate chamber, rioters were at that time breaking into the Capitol.
Showing what was happening outside. Trump supporters smashing the windows. Then the view from inside.
We are seeing the inside view as the mob approaches from outside and beats the windows and doors. And a lone police officer inside responds and begins to spray the first man who enters, but is quickly overwhelmed. Among this group are members of the Proud Boys.
You can see Senator Mitt Romney warned by Officer Eugene Goodman to find safety, then seen running down a hallway. Senator Chuck Schumer and others fleeing too.
As you were moving through that hallway, I paced it off. You were just 58 steps away from where the mob was amassing and where police were rushing to stop them.
Staffers seeking shelter wherever they could as rioters breached the building. House managers repeatedly made the case. The president's own words led to this. Many supporters carrying the Trump flag.
So they came, draped in Trump's flag, and used our flag, the American flag, to batter and to bludgeon.
They again spoke of the heroism of Officer Eugene Goodman, who can be seen leading rioters past the entrance to the Senate chamber. Impeachment manager Stacey Plaskett on the danger for the vice president.
They were talking about assassinating the vice president of the United States.
And then the images as they search for House Speaker Nancy Pelosi.
Where are you, Nancy? We're looking for you. She's in jail. Nancy. Oh, Nancy. Nancy. Where are you, Nancy?
Showing the speaker's staff hiding under a table as the speaker's office is ransacked. You can hear her staffers whispering in horror.
Like that they're within our hallway. We need Capitol Police, I think, coming to the hallway. They're pounding on doors trying to find her. Yeah.
It was graphic, visceral, and it was personal for the senators, who now serve as the judge and jury in the impeachment trial of former President Donald Trump, accused of putting their lives at risk. And they argue Trump reacted with glee and delight when the violent mob laid siege on the Capitol.
He watched it on TV like a reality show. He reveled in it. And he did nothing to help us as commander-in-chief. Instead, he served as the inciter-in-chief.
And amid these new and horrifying images tonight, these words for the senators.
The truth is, this attack never would have happened but for Donald Trump.
So let's get back to Rachel Scott up on the Hill again tonight for us. And of course, House managers, Democrats essentially working as prosecutors here, making their case first as this trial unfolds. And they did so today, Rachel, as you report tonight, using this harrowing evidence, much of it never seen by the country before. And Rachel, I'm curious, what was the reaction inside the chamber as the evidence was being presented? And I know some senators on both sides who are now jurors, of course, now reacting to all of this tonight.
David, complete silence inside of the chamber. Senators straining in their seats, shaking their heads in disgust. Republican Senator Lisa Murkowski saying tonight that she is outraged, calling that evidence damning. And then Senator Mitt Romney, he says it was his first time seeing that footage, watching the moments where he ran for his safety. He says that he did not flinch at all, but he had no idea that that violent mob was just steps away. Tonight, Romney thanking the officer that warned him that danger was ahead. That officer, of course, was Eugene Goodman. And tonight he is back here at the Capitol, spotted just right outside the Senate chamber, David.
Really something for these senators to see themselves in these images for the first time. Rachel Scott leading us off again tonight. Rachel, thank you.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.